We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Welcome back to us. We've been out and about doing our things, living life, right, Mitch? A lot of
Yeah,
things have happened.
yeah,
Why don't you catch people up, Mitch?
yeah. We've been off the record for a week, mainly
Or more
because
than a
not
week,
only
actually. More than a
more
week.
than a week. Yeah, you're right. Not only because Sam is a newborn dad, but because now I too am a newborn dad. And
Nice.
so last Sunday, a week ago, now we're recording on what is it? April the I what's the date? I don't even
I
know.
mean,
Last Sunday, on Easter Sunday, um, Hank Warner came onto the planet.
dude.
And well, let's see. The night before we went to the hospital, and Lori labored for 24 hours.
Wow,
Um,
dude. Was she?
yeah,
She was in a lot of pain.
she she was a lot of the time. She did have some help there with the epidural, and thank God for that. But there was it was a big struggle for her. And in the end, there we moved towards a C-section.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to see. Never seen anything quite like that. And the baby arrived safely, and that was it. That's all there was to it. And so he's back home now. We've been home for a couple of days. Her mom just left. She was staying with us for the first little bit. She had been caring for
Yeah.
Chloe. And yeah, but dude, I mean, look, this is a movie called podcast. I did break a little fast when we were in the hospital for 4 days
Dude, and
because
that's understandable, you know. You're having to sit there, you're having to watch things, and you know what? I'm just glad that her and baby Hank are okay. If people may not know, obviously his name is Hank Warner. They named him Hank because of Hank Hill from The King of the Hill, and Warner because of Warner Brothers. So that's
that's
where
hilarious, dude.
that's why they came up with that name. So
That's
uh,
hilarious.
yeah, man. Well, I'm glad, dude. I had myself a little. Me and Nova had ourselves a little. We were sick together.
Oh man.
Yeah, and you know it was funny. Vanessa just will not let it die because they gave us. We went to the doctor, right? They told us. Thankfully, it was a cold, and instead of what they thought it could have been. But they gave us this like little suction tube, right?
Uh-huh,
And
yep.
the parent sucks on it, and there's a filter inside it, right?
Okay.
Well, you put it in the nose of the baby, and then you suck, right? And
Are you talking about that little bulb thing that you squeeze and put it in the nose and then let it
no,
go?
not
Just
that, not that. No, 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 no. It's something else.
okay.
This one is like you put it in your mouth, and then the parent sucks it, and then it goes through this filter, and the filter, like the little, like it's a little tube that fits right inside the baby's nose, and it
Okay.
sucks out the boogies, right? And
Yeah.
so I did that, but me and Vanessa think that the the filter wasn't placed on there right, because after the fact she ended up putting it on correctly and she did it, but I ended up sucking some of his uh his boogies, anyways.
Good. You gotta get the boogies out.
And I ended up, no, what I mean is I ended up swallowing.
Oh, oh my goodness, Sam. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I'm
And
sorry,
so
folks. Should have had
I,
a trigger warning.
I ended up getting sick. I was even worse than he was, but that's all that mattered. He ended up getting better. I was like, dude, I was sick for a few days. I was sleeping. I was watching movies, and I was playing some games, and then I was sleeping a lot more. But Mitch, that's a good transition for getting into the topics of why people are really here, right? And that's movies, man. So
No more
you broke your a little fast. What did you
Yeah,
end up
so
watching?
what I'm supposed to be not doing is watching anything on a screen. But we're there in the hospital and there's something on the screen. And at first it was like, Lori, when she was in labor, I was like, oh, you want to watch something? Okay, I guess we could put something on, maybe take your mind off things. And but there it is. But here's the thing, Sam. What we watched, if you can believe it, man, is TV shows. TV shows,
Yeah,
TV shows, TV shows, dude.
dude.
And what's
Well,
it's cable, right? I mean, it's
yeah, it's
awesome.
cable.
I don't have cable really at the house. And so it's just you're never trapped inside that little box anymore, and it felt so good. It felt so right.
Yeah, because you're not in control, right? You're just kind of like,
Yes,
okay,
you're flipping
whatever's on,
channels.
whatever's on is on. That's it, right? I
So
mean,
to an extent, you do still have like an infinite scroll because you can channel around the. I mean, but you get it's a limited number of channels. It's a finite number of programming,
yeah,
and it's just awesome. So I mean,
yeah.
what we mostly watch, dude, is Friends. Which
Friends.
have you seen this show?
I've watched Friends. Yeah, I mean, growing up, that was one of the shows that we would occasionally watch. It's a good show. I'm not in love with it like a lot of other people. It's interesting, dude. You had the experience with Friends while you were in the hospital with Lori, and I had the experience of watching The Office.
That's
Uh,
right, dude. I was hungry for The Office, dude, because they had Comedy Central, and I'm like, a lot of times Comedy Central will play The Office, but no, we did watch a lot of Seinfeld on Comedy Central.
yeah, dude. I don't know. When we were in the hospital, they were having a The Office marathon.
That's the
So
jackpot, dude. We wanted that.
we just kind of got lucky in that regard. But well, I'm glad you got to watch some episodes of Friends. Did you enjoy it?
Well, what I found it interesting about it is it's like it's this cultural touchstone, right? Like everybody knows Friends. Friends is always on TV, and a lot of people, like you said, are obsessed with Friends. But even if you're not, you had some exposure like you did to Friends. But I've always been kind of just circling this show, and even then at the hospital, it's like I watch Friends in hospitals, at mechanic shops. Sometimes if you're at a friend's house, maybe they put it on. But I never like have turned on Friends to sit down and watch it. And it was kind of cool because also like it's there were at least three different channels that would play it.
Yeah,
So like you could go channel to channel and you'd be like finding different, you know, like one's in season 8 and one's in season 2, and you're like, this
yeah,
is kind of trippy. But that made it more interesting. Like I found like this the most interesting way to watch the show that's a cultural touchstone like Friends is like incidentally, because you get the feeling that you'll never run out, it'll never go away. But also, dude, I swear, we watched a Hanukkah episode, a Christmas episode, a Thanksgiving episode. Seinfeld had a Festivus episode. I was like, we were going through the calendar, man. And but yeah, like I said, we watched Seinfeld. We watched King of Queens. What about
oh,
that show?
dude, that was one. That was a show that one of my dad and I, we, oh God, our family, we, that's like our show, dude. What episode did you watch?
Oh,
Do you remember what you watched from that?
so I remember one of the ones is when they were really trying to conceive a child,
Uh,
uh, which was interesting. And then one of them was like where he was like supposed to be like an expert witness at her
uh-huh,
job at her law office. And but dude, I think what's interesting,
uh-huh.
that was the last. You and I are big 90s nostalgia heads. That
Yeah.
was the last show from the 90s to be canceled. So it was the last one that was still running that was born in the 90s.
Are you
Um,
serious? Was it not
yeah.
was it not Friends? When did Friends end?
No, I think Friends and you know what's crazy too is like I think King of Queens had a comparable amount of seasons to Friends.
No,
I
they
think they.
yeah, they did, man. Dude, we were just talking about it. Actually, my brothers and I were talking about. There's an episode where uh, these guys that are working on their street, they uh,
Uh-huh.
they end up complimenting. They end up whistling. At Carrie, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she's feeling good about herself. She gets home, she's all in a chipper good mood. I think she ends up cooking like the best kind of meal. She's feeling very positive, right?
Mhm.
Well, the
Mhm.
next day she passes those same workers and they don't
Mhm.
say anything to her, right?
Uh-huh.
And so
Oh
she
my
gets
gosh,
home and she makes his life hell, right? Like she's in a very bad
that's so
mood,
funny, dude.
and so and he's like, what the heck, like where was this woman? Where's this woman at? Cooked me a really nice dinner. So what he does is he goes to talk to those guys and he pays them to compliment her.
Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, Kevin James, man, at his beginnings, and
Dude, I love Kevin James, and I kind of wish, like, a part of me wishes that he had never, because I thought he was very funny on his own, right? With the King of Queens, a part of me kind of wishes that he never fell
got
into that.
connected with it. Yeah,
Yeah, with Adam Sandler and them, because I really do feel like they just kind of tried to have him fill a void that Chris Farley left.
maybe so, maybe
I
so. But still doing his thing. He had a movie come out this year. That he was the star in, so kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I watched a lot. I before we realized that we weren't going to be having an episode come out, and keep in mind we are going to have an episode come out that we had in the chamber. That one was recorded like a while back, right before we stopped recording. Like maybe 10 days ago, I think that was the last
Was
time
it?
we.
Wow,
Yeah, it
that's
was like
crazy.
10 days ago. So the episode that you're going to see before this one was recorded like 10 days ago. But, anyways, I watched two big movies. First one,
Oh.
Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Okay, so Wesley had sent us a critic saying that he like wanted to stab his hand with a pen or something,
Yeah,
but so I'm assuming it wasn't that bad.
dude, no, gosh.
I'm always skeptical of hyperbolic reviews.
Dude, like, come on. And it goes both ways, right? Like, it goes both ways in that, I'm with you. I'm there. I'm always like questioning whenever someone says something like that, and then whenever they say this movie changed my life, or this movie is like one of the greatest films of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always very, very, very nervous whenever people say that. I'm like, okay, really? Did that movie actually change your life? But this movie is not bad at all, man. It knows what it wants to do. It's 90 minutes. I watched it in a theater pack full of kids
Good, good,
and their
good, good.
families. I
That's
went with
beautiful.
I went with Vanessa and her family and their little
Dude, he
boys.
was probably in a theater with a bunch of middle-aged film critics, man.
I think so, man.
All
But
all in there jaded and just with deadlines. Yuck.
yeah, dude. This movie is not as bad as people say. It was enjoyable enough. It knew what it wanted to do. Now, was it as good as the first one? No, I enjoyed the first one more, but I still thought this one was really cool. So, I mean, it's okay. It's a passable 3 out of 5 stars, Mitch.
Do you think that the Childish Gambino Glover is gonna win an Oscar for this voice performance?
Dude,
Dude, what
I'll
if
just.
is it against the Oscar rules to get nominated for a vocal performance? I assume yes, but I don't
I
know.
think so. I think so. But I think
um,
that's why they gave Robin Williams an honorary award, right? Didn't they give him some kind of award for Genie?
I didn't know that, but that's interesting. I mean, that was pretty. That was even before when he did Genie. That was even before there was an animated feature Oscar category.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think they gave him some kind of award.
But that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was enjoyable enough, man. It wasn't bad at all. I did watch another movie that has been on a lot of like social media. People have been talking about it and all that. That is the drama.
I think this is the part where in the episode you just get a long censor bleep just over everything that you're saying.
No, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it because I know you want to watch it, and most people probably haven't watched it yet. So I'm just not going to say anything. How about that?
Anything?
No, I
Anything.
won't say anything.
Say anything.
No, look, the less you know, the better. So there's that.
Oh, spoiler.
What? I just said the less you know, the better.
I knew I would get you.
Dude.
Well, Laura
Yeah,
just walked outside with sleeping Hank Warner in her arms, and Chloe scooting around on her little cart.
dude. Oh man. How does Hank is he have his eyes open and all that?
No, he's got his eyes closed right now.
Dude, I'm gonna send you a video that I just recorded. Vanessa made it. I think they have some stuff like it. But I'm gonna send you a video. She made it herself. She had bought those neck pillows, right, for the baby,
Yeah. Hmm.
and she ended up making something out of it for whenever she feeds the baby. So I'll send you that video.